Okay, I'm going to talk about Acts chapter 5, all the way to chapter 12. Okay, so basically, to sum it up, is that there's a man named Ananias and his wife Sapphira. They sold some of the land, but he gave only a part of the money to the apostles. He secretly kept some of it for him. Okay, for himself. His wife knew about this, and she agreed to it. Now Peter said to Ananias, "Why did you let Satan rule your heart? You lied to the Holy Spirit. Why did you keep part of the money you received for the land for yourself? Before you sold the land, it belonged to you, and even after you sold it, you could have used the money any way you wanted. Why did you think of doing this? You lied to God, not to man." When Ananias heard this, he fell down and died. Some young men came in and wrapped up his body, carried it out and buried it. And everyone who heard about this was filled with fear. Now, about 3 hours later, let me sum this up, okay? His wife came in, and Peter said to Ananias' wife heard that Peter said that, why, like, let me go quote unquote what he said. Your husband agreed to test the Holy Spirit. The test the Spirit of the Lord. Look, the men who buried your husband are at the door. They will carry you out. Now, at that moment, the wife died. She fell down on her knees, to her feet, and died. And the people were feared. They were filled with fear once again. Now, beforehand, Peter said to her, "Tell me how much money you got for your field. Was it this much?" And Sapphira answered, "Yes, that was the price." Now Peter said, "Why did you and your husband agree to test the Spirit of the Lord?" So, let me tell you this. It's not that, well, it is because of what they did, but what I'm saying is that it's not because of not giving the money to the church or the apostles made them die. It's not that. It's because they're giving a small portion of things. Like they lied to the Holy Spirit. Let me get some context here. So there's basically that Ananias gave the money, only a small portion, to the apostles, and gave the huge amount for himself. That was greed. That's money. That's money talking. Bad. Okay. Let me go straight to the point. Okay. It's basically, how I interpret it is that there's people right now who are similar to Ananias and his wife Sapphira. They, instead of money, they're giving God their heart, because that's you don't use money to have the blessings of God, to really follow Him. It's not money or do anything. It's just your heart and believe in Him. So with the people on the modern day right now, there are believers who are like this. This is a showing of example. So there's people who claim they're a follower of Christ, but yet they only give a small portion of their heart to God. My meaning of this is like they're only dedicate their lifestyle to God. They're only giving a small time to God, and not really giving of the full attention to God. Not giving a true relationship with God. It was like treating God as a chore. And then how I can say this is that, like, if they keep doing this at the last days until their death, when they wake up and see God in judgment day, they will surely fall and die the second death, which is hell. So if you keep doing that, if you keep lying to God and not giving 100% to God, and representing to the public that you are a Christian, but yet not giving your heart to God, you will surely at the last days you will die the second death, sin, which is dead, by the way. What I mean is hell. You will go to hell because you did not give your whole choice, your whole life to God, because you choose sin. You choose to keep that huge portion, or even a small portion, in your heart for the world, because you cannot serve two masters. For this analogy, for a guy who's sitting on a fence, now the other side was Satan and the other side was God. Man sit right in the middle. smack down in the middle. And on the last days, boom, snap, darkness. Opened his eyes, he saw Satan. He said, no, I should be having both God and both of you. I should be good. But Satan said, I own that fence. It's really that shows us that you cannot do anything. You cannot you cannot bend the rules or can I do a little bit of sin for your own pleasure? You cannot do that. You cannot serve both masters. You can only serve one, which is God or sin, which is God or the world, which is God or Satan. Because if you're only giving a small portion to yourself to God, you're not gonna make it to heaven. You're not gonna make it to heaven. You are gonna die. You're gonna die in the second death, which is hell. Again, it's so clear. Now, how come I read this page? I haven't even finished Acts chapter 3 yet. I haven't even finished that. I just stumbled, and the wind blowed, and then the page was there, and then I read it, and then I interpreted. You gotta give everything to God to really show that. You cannot give a small portion to God, because give all your attention to God. That's it. I don't know why I wanted to record this. I don't know who I'm gonna send it to, but that's what it is.